Let's do the vlog, Luke. Hey, here with Luke. We're gonna do a walk around of my truck. I know you guys have been waiting for a walk around video. It's finally time. Hopefully you guys are pleased with it. I still feel like there's more to do on the truck, and that's why I haven't done a walk around video, but that's okay. We'll show you what's on it right now, and maybe we'll do another one in like a month or two when I have more cool stuff on the truck. All right, so I'm gonna talk about the lights real quick because we're already doing it. Right now, most of my lights are from Cali Ray's LED. Right now, I'm getting onto my Bluetooth because I have Bluetooth rock light, and you can do different color combinations with your phone. So you can see that they're blue. And that's normally the color that I run them is blue. But if you want to, you can change them up to like any color you want to, which is kind of fun. These are your Cali Ray's pod lights. These have been awesome so far. I used to run a light bar on the front, and I found these have enough light output that they work pretty well. And I'll put some information up on the screen about the stats of these, maybe the cost, but I like these a lot, and they have a lifetime warranty, so if you break them, they'll replace them, so that's super cool. And then you guys remember the halos that I did. If you watch the video how to do this, basically cracked the headlight myself and painted the inside housing and installed the 80mm halo. So that's kind of another thing. And then these are diode dynamic LED light, LED fog lights. And I'll show you the switch panel that I have. It's right here. Just this little cubby hole for the key that is normally there. I got a little plate offline and put these OEM style switches that go there. So it looks clean and it's simple. So that's pretty much the lights. Are you cold, Luke? You're kind of shaking.
I sure hope this footage isn't shaky. Is it? No, it's fine.
No? You good? Okay.
I think so.
All right,
I'm not cold.
Back to it. Okay, so coming to the front end, obviously I have fiberglass flares. These are a 4-inch bulb. They're from Roadrunner Flares. They're located in Baja, Mexico. I do have a video of me prepping and painting everything. So the paint job is not perfect, but I did do it myself, which was a really cool learning experience. It's a ton of fun, and I honestly couldn't have afforded to do it to pay someone to do it, so did it myself, and I think it turned out pretty good. The hood is also fiberglass, and so that's why I have these hood pins here, and they're not like your typical hood pins. They're actually like a push style. You push it down, and that releases your hood, and it's a real lightweight fiberglass hood. And so since I got the hood open, I'll show you pretty much the only engine modifications that I've done. If you come on in here, I've done the AFE Momentum GT cold air intake, and it did feel like it added a little bit of horsepower. It definitely made the truck sound better. I really like the sound a lot, and did feel like it gave it a little bit of kick. I don't know the numbers because I haven't had it on a dyno tuner or anything like that. And then over here, I put in a Blue Sea fuse box. I'd like to do a dual battery setup at some point, but it's really not a priority right now. So to close the hood with these hood pins, you just set it down and push down on it. That kind of brings me to this, the TRD decal here. That's a TRD Pro decal, and it's made by a guy who whose Instagram is called @FixItCo, and he makes these, and they're a lot cheaper than if you go buy it from Toyota. So I would check that out if that's something you want to do. I think it just brings together the whole look of the truck, and I really like it. I also have the Rad Industries grill. This is just a steel insert. It's all laser cut. And then this part, I put that in myself. That's a piece of aluminum that I painted white, and I put it in behind the lettering to make it say Toyota in white. Kind of make it unique, and I really like that a lot. So the bumper is made by CBI Off-Road. My front bumper is it's aluminum. So out of the box, it's only 47 pounds, and I elected to do the aluminum up front for a couple of reasons. Because it's lighter, it's gonna feel a lot better on the suspension up front, whereas in the back, your leaf springs can take that weight a little bit better. I have steel in the back, aluminum in the front. It is quite a bit more expensive. I think you're looking at like another $600 or $700 just to use aluminum, but I think it's worthwhile. And then, their build quality is awesome. They're located in Idaho Falls. It has like this smaller grill guard type thing, which I think they just aligned it perfectly with with the grill. It doesn't come up too high. It's very sleek and tucked in, and their welds are just tremendous and awesome. Can't believe I just said tremendous. Tremendous.
It's huge.
It's huge. Shit. And that kind of brings me down to the winch. The winch is a Smitty built 9500 RC winch, and it comes with a synthetic winch line, and that also saves a ton of weight, having the synthetic winch line opposed to the steel winch line, and it's a lot easier to maintain, so you don't have to like bring it out and clean it all the time. It does pretty good on its own. It resists rot. It is a good idea to check them every once in a while, but it's not going to rust away, and it's not going to put a bunch of metal shards in your hands if you need to use it. But mainly, it's lightweight and just as strong as steel, so that's really cool. And that also brings me down to this guy here. This is the Factor 55 link, and this I put in instead of using a traditional hook. There's a lot of benefits to using a closed winching system. So you're going to use a D-ring right through the slot here, and then essentially your winch line it's all closed. Everything's connected. There's no way that line can come off at the hook. Now you could snap a line, but that doesn't, when you have a synthetic line, it's much less dangerous than having a hook break off or slip out and come shooting. So Factor 55, they do provide like a much cleaner look than your traditional hook, like bringing your hook over here and hooking it on. And they're a little bit safer, but they're also just kind of for the cool factor, I think, because they look awesome. Apparently I gotta take off my hat because I got weird shadows over my eyes. So
no one cares.
Nobody cares. I want to talk about my suspension. It is a +2 long travel suspension from Baja Kits using custom king coilovers. The kit is super cool. I did a video a little bit ago doing an install, but the kit is awesome. It basically comes with these beefy custom king coilovers. You got your upper and lower control arms that are like really, really nice. And limit straps. It comes with the limit straps, which is sweet. I've also installed locked off-road bump stops, and they're kind of tucked in the back, hard to see. We'll get some shots of it. And then, yeah, the performance has been absolutely awesome, and I am so glad that I did it because the performance is so much better. It's so much smoother. It holds the weight of the truck better, and without a sway bar, it feels so much better. So I would highly recommend this kit. I really like it. While I'm down low here, you'll also see that I have a CBI off-road skid plate. I forgot to mention that. And that's in just an aluminum finish. I'm running a 305/70/16 tire. So this is neither a 33 or a 35, somewhere in the middle, not necessarily a 34. It is 12 inches wide, and it's somewhere around 34 inches. So it's a very unique tire. I really like it. It doesn't have the huge weight and the tall tires as a 35, but it's somewhere right in between. If you're looking to get these for your stock Toyota or just maybe a 2 or 3 inch lift, you're gonna need to do a cab mount chop, which I've done. I've chopped back the frame inside there. We'll get some shots of that as well. But most of the time, if you're going to add tires this big, you're going to need a cab mount chop. So find yourself someone who can weld. Go ahead and chop that thing back and weld in some plates, and you're good to go. There's really no reason to be afraid of chopping back your frame. It's not a big deal. The wheels, which I really want to replace the wheels. The wheels came with an older truck. They're Moto Metals, not the highest quality wheels, not the most aesthetic wheels. Some people like them. I don't mind them. They're not high on my priority list to replace. So they roll, they work. We beat them up out in the rocks and the sand, and so I'm really not worried about it. If I could pick a wheel, I would go with some Stealth Customs. I really like the Stealth Customs, probably the Ray 10s, maybe in like a bronze or a charcoal gray. Let me know what you think about that in the comment section below, or if you have a wheel that you would suggest for this truck, let me know. I know Methods are pretty cool too. Back to armor. These are steel rock sliders made by CBI Off-Road. I opted for the option that has the kick out here towards the rear passenger door. And what the kick out does, if you don't already know, I'm sure you know if you're watching this video, is say you're going down and there's like a tree right here and you start scraping this tree, the kick out's going to push your truck away from the tree and get your tire back online. So you want that kick out to kind of line up with your tire, and it's going to push you back onto the trail. And then the other reason you have rock sliders is if you high center, you're just going to slide right over. So really awesome. These are a bolt-on option, and they hold up really, really well. You can lift the vehicle off of these with like a forklift, or if you needed to jack the truck up, you can do that. So I see you smiling, Luke. Thought I was going to say jack off.
Well, you did this motion.
As we work our way towards the rear of the vehicle, you'll notice that I do have stock fender flares or stock bed sides. I haven't got fiberglass ones yet, mainly because I haven't switched the rear suspension to a long travel suspension, so I don't really need to stuff my tires up just yet. But I am working on redoing my rear suspension. It's more of a mid-travel setup right now. I have OEM length King 2.5 inch shocks with reservoirs in the back, with Dakar leaf springs. So Old Man Emu Dakar leaf springs with the extra leaf. And that extra leaf is in there. So basically you can carry around 600 pounds and still maintain a 3-inch lift. Without the tent and the rack and the bumper, it would be sitting at a 4-inch lift. So that's why you put that extra leaf in there. If you didn't and you put all this weight on it, it would be sagging and the front end would be way up in the air. So that's why we have that extra leaf. And it works really, really well. So far the ride quality, way improved over my Icon Add-A-Leaf set that I had before, and I really enjoy it. So in the rear of the truck, subtle detail, I have these import equipment tail light decals. So they basically cover up some of the chrome there, and I just have this gray fog thing. Just kind of one of those small details that makes the truck look nicer. You probably don't even notice, but overall aesthetically pleasing. I like it. But what really overshadows that is the CBI off-road bumper. So this is a high clearance rear bumper, and high clearance, essentially they chop part of your bedside down, and so you get all this protection here instead of coming down and crushing your bedside. It gives you a much better departure angle, so you're not doing something like this. But yeah, just way better departure angle. I opted for a steel bumper because, like I was saying earlier, you don't see the rear, so you come down on the rear a lot more than you hit the front, at least in my opinion. It is a little bit heavier than I wanted, but that's kind of the price you pay for the protection that you get, and so it's pretty good. Some of the cool features, this bumper, you can tow. CBI doesn't list a tow rating, but I'm fairly certain that it's equal to the factory tow rating. The tow hitch though, instead of being down here scraping the tow hitch, it's actually hidden underneath your license plate. You just flip this up, and they include all of this, and the tow hitch is right inside there, and it just works like normal. You just put your pin in from behind like that. And so no more dragging your hitch on the ground or rocks or getting hung up or getting stuck in mud with that hitch just sticking down here like this. The big question I get a lot about this is do you retain your blind spot monitors and your backup sensors? Unfortunately, you cannot retain your blind spot monitors. So if you get the full package deal, like this truck came with everything, came with the blind spot monitors, you will have to say goodbye to those. The thing is, the blind spot monitor, it's this big box like this, and it can't see through metal, so they would have to cut a hole in your bumper right here, which it's a very important corner portion of your bumper, so you would lose a ton of strength. So they don't want to do that. There are some companies that offer that, but trust me, it's not a good option. That bumper would not hold up in a real situation. So I've never looked back. I've got this far without blind spot monitors. Letting go of the blind spot monitors was not a big deal, and I honestly didn't even notice they were gone. Now you do have your backup sensors here, 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 and here, and they work like normal. I hope that answers some questions about why the blind spot monitor was cut out, and to me it's not a big deal. All right, so Cali Ray's LED came out with a tent this year. Cali Ray's did an awesome job producing this tent. It's been wonderful. My wife and I spent 3 weeks on an overland trip and we slept every night in this tent except for one night we stayed in a hotel, and it was really comfortable and held up really, really well. I highly recommend checking them out because it's great value for what you're getting. So that's my tent. I'm not gonna open it up today, but I'll show some footage of us opening it up. I think I have enough footage of us opening it up and showing the inside. The rack that it's on, I can't say this in confidence. I think it's a Relentless Fab rack, but I got it used on Craigslist. And then if you look inside the bed, I try not to have too much like ridiculous like hardcore crap, but I do have a jack, and I put an axe there, and the axe is kind of cool. The axes actually come in handy more than you think to pound in like tent stakes for people who don't have a rooftop tent, or to chop firewood. So having it there is kind of fun. It's just sitting there, honestly. People can, you know, really just come pull it out if they wanted to, but nobody really has, and it's a cheap axe, so I don't think anyone's gonna take it, or they could, I just replace it. All right, so the exhaust is an MBRP 3-inch catback exhaust, and I chopped it just right there, just before the spare tire. Now, originally this one came out to here like this, but when I got the high clearance bumper, it didn't make sense to have it coming out way down here, so I chopped it in this exhaust. Sounds awesome. I had a Flowmaster exhaust, and it droned. It was super loud. I did not like it. This is still loud. You can still hear it in the cab, but it's fun to drive. I like it, but it's not too loud and it's not obnoxious. So we'll do a quick startup of it real quick so you can hear it. So just stay right there. It's starting to rain. Yeah, that is pretty much the build. I'm sure I'll come up with some other stuff that I forgot. Some plans for the future. I hope to have a full set of Prinzu racks soon. I would like to get a canopy at some point, color match canopy. I'd love to do some bed drawers. That's all in the future. I want to be able to keep this thing in good shape for long trips with my wife and son. And so far I've loved the truck. The truck's got about 38,000 miles on it now, and it's running strong. So that's my build. Thank you so much for watching, and if you have any questions, be sure to drop them in the comment section below, and I will try to get back to every question that I can. All right, thank you so much. Goodbye. Good.